Let's review sold orders. Sold orders is held in the inquiries menu, number 2 and number 3. Sold orders is the application that allows us to view the sales to our customers, the return authorizations to our customers, and the returns. The fields at the top of the screen allow us to look at the information, such as a UPC or a SKU number, by invoice, by customer or ship to, by a bin location, by a trip that's going on a truck, by the tracking number that's related to a return authorization, or a release number, which is also related to a return authorization, the sales ID, a state, consignment sales, a percentage, in summary view, and the different companies. Let's start out by using a SKU number. It shows us the invoice, the customer number, the sales, the bin location that the product was pulled from, the date, the quantity, the price it was sold, the percentage, the case pack, and the expiration date. The characters at the bottom can be used on the small lines next to the invoice number. If you wanted to see everything on a particular invoice, you'd utilize the I. The SKU number would then be replaced by the invoice number. Let's go ahead and look at the D for details. Details, that would show us the location or the price, if there was a lot, the unit of measure, who the salesperson was, F7 to get out. The invoice status is the $sign. If we want to start a problem queue related to this invoice, the rebate, the E, R, and N are related to return authorizations. Say a customer needs to return the first item. We can place an R next to that item and open up the dialog box, which allows us to make a return authorization and a request for that product to come back. The quantity, the reason why, and the type and release are primary. Let's put a quantity of 1. If you're not sure what the type or the reason why is, you can hit Control, and at the bottom of the screen, F5 will allow us to display the return codes. Let's say this was a customer error. You can just type the beginning, hit your Control, and move down and select the reasoning. Again, if you're not familiar with what the types are, you can press Control, and the abbreviations will appear on the screen. If it was a refusal, picked up on the next trip, if we wish to send a return call tag by UPS. If you should select the type UPS, know that the QC department, they generate a report the next day, or they fax the call tag to the customer. If it was dropped at a carrier, if it's the customer's responsibility, is the N. If we're going to pick it up on a truck at that moment, if we authorized it to be destroyed, if it's a special pickup. Special pickups are normally customers that consolidate their returns at a facility, and we don't normally go there. So again, we would do a special pickup, and the QC department would make arrangements. We could put a star. That means a pending. We're still waiting for information, but we want to store it in the return authorization. An L means that a rep has gone there, and they're going to package up the goods and put a call tag on the case. The warehouse, it was already returned in the warehouse and there was no return authorization in. Let's use the U. The CC field is used with the carrier, so each carrier has a number assigned to them, so we can tell which carrier has the product, and they associate it with a pro number, which is similar to a tracking number. A message, the contact information. Let's move over and put a release number. Normally we use the invoice number as the release number. And we're going to press Control. We're still not able to see the return authorization. Because the screen has 3 different features, we use the F9 key to toggle through the features. Sales up here shows us that we're on the sales feature. If we press F9, we're on the return authorization feature. Press F9 and we're on the returns. That's physically returned back into stock. And you just toggle through by continuously pressing F9. Since this is a fake return, we're going to use the star. The star at the bottom allows us to delete the return authorization. And I'm going to press F9 a couple of times. Let's move on to the E. The E, by placing it on one line of the invoice, allows us to return the whole entire invoice. And this would give us a return authorization for every item on the order. Again, you just put in your basic information, which is the reason why or how it's getting back to the warehouse for the type, and your release number. F7 to get out if you do not want to store it. Once a return authorization has been entered and QC has sent the call tags, you can use the C to see the call tag and to track the call tag. The U is to update. The Q is allowing us to get into the problem queue. You can fax a return authorization by placing an F next to the return authorization. These are the basic functions of sold orders. Thank you.